What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back. Episode 35 with my friends from South Dakota, Scared of the Dark. What's up, guys?
Hello there.
It's nice to see your guys' face again, or faces, I should say. The last time we hung out, for the people who don't know, they came to Omaha, what was it, 7 or 8 months ago?
Yeah, back in November.
Okay. It was a long time ago, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I seen them for the first time, and I'll preface it by saying the promoter says, hey, I've got this band called Scared of the Dark. They're from South Dakota. If you like Ice Nine Kills, they're pretty much a female version or a female fronted version of Ice Nine Kills. And you guys fucking killed it. Killed it.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
And one thing that I could really appreciate is your gear. Like, you guys came prepped. You guys had your own lights. You had your own, whatever you call them, your little flame thing.
Our
the
stage
banners.
scrims.
Yeah, there you go. Did you say scripts?
Scrims.
Scrims, there you go. That's the word. Yeah, you guys were, well, still are professional, but it like really impressed me. I'd never heard of you guys before. Somebody talked about you really good. I watched you guys and I'm like, holy shit, these guys are really good.
Thank you.
I think we definitely pride ourselves in our gear too.
Yeah, well, and trying to be professional as we enter and exit stage and the setup and everything.
Yeah,
like
make
that.
everything as timely as possible and have everything ready to go.
Yeah,
So when you guys, that was your first time playing Omaha, correct?
our second time, we played at Dr. Jack's in June, but the Lookout Lounge is like such a timeless name in the scene, so adding that to our roster of venues we've played was super cool.
And you guys had fun in Omaha, I take it?
Oh yeah, it's always a good time.
Yes, absolutely.
Great city.
Yeah, that show was great. I guess from a first-hand experience, like I said, I'd never heard of you guys. I sat in the front row, and Taylor, if you guys don't know, is the vocalist, way over on the side there. I sat in the front row, and she's so intense. And the last time I sat front row at a show, I was watching Eye of the Breather, and I felt like this is going to happen again. I was watching Eye of the Breather. I'd never listened to the music before. The guy grabs me on top of the head and sticks the mic in my face, and I had no idea. Like, I had no idea what the lyrics were. I was so embarrassed, and I was so scared that was going to happen with you guys. So I'm glad he didn't do that.
I was looking for someone that night to do that.
Oh, this guy looks like it.
And you.
No.
No.
Sometimes by like the third chorus of "Are You Home," people they got it down.
Yeah, sometimes.
Chris is the drummer. He's gonna just choke the cymbal and just let everybody sing.
Yeah.
That will be the day.
That will be the day. When do you expect that to happen? If you're to give that a time frame, how many years down the road?
Oh, that's a tough question right now.
That is a very tough
I hope very soon. I'm living for that moment to come.
Same. Are you guys gonna do a whole bunch of house shows where you're from? Venues?
We've talked about it a couple times. Yeah. We actually just had one set of friends who were like, yeah, we cleaned out our basement. Y'all should get something set up right away. So maybe
it happen is what you're saying.
Yeah, we might have to do it in our own house, to be honest.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good setup down here in the basement.
I was gonna say, and for those who don't know, these guys all live together. They write music together, so it must be nice, right?
Yeah, the bills part is actually the best part.
Yeah.
Low cost of living.
Having 6, 7, 8 of us in a house reduces the Wi-Fi bill and the energy bill quite significantly.
Is it a pretty big house, I take it?
We own we don't own, we rent a duplex, but there's actually like 2 full apartments in the house that we have.
Whoa.
It's nice. We actually have a room for our studio now, and before it was our living room. So
I thought you were gonna say room for friends, and I was gonna be like, yeah, I'll come up. Don't worry.
This house fits into a bed.
My cat has his own room upstairs too, so you could probably take that one.
Bro, I love cats.
He would love you, minus some bites.
Yeah.
Now here's a funny question for you. Let's say, being that you guys all live together, do any of you guys just wake up and be like, Brandon, I need you to riff with me really quick, just really quick.
Yeah, it's a pretty regular occurrence.
Oh, I've been thinking about that question for like the past week or so, and I'm like, it's gotta happen.
It's pretty cool to like wake up and like walk out of the room and hear the guys out here like just genting away.
It's me and Taylor live in the bottom part of the duplex, and that's where all the band gear is. So anytime they want to gent, they have to come all the way downstairs. By that time, we end up waking up and we're like, all right, let's do this.
It's time to make some music.
Or like breakfast and guitars. It just goes hand in hand.
Go together so well.
We got a dude named Lil Chemo that lives in the same house too. So like he'll like get us to come in the studio and we'll spit some bars for him and then save the project, and then Taylor will go in the booth and scream. It's an interesting dynamic.
It's very interesting.
That's actually funny you bring that up. I was thinking about that while driving today. Like, how cool would it be? It might be a little bit different in your town, being that it's kind of small. But how cool would it be to have like a writer's workshop where you had different genres of bands together? And like, let's say they meshed you up with like a folk artist, and then you guys had to try to write a song with them in the span of an hour.
Oh my gosh,
that'd be fun. Honestly, it's a challenge.
We should do it with like Better Ride.
Yeah.
There's a band from our hometown that their thing is kind of that you can just be a member whenever you want and get up on stage and
so cool.
you know, sing with them and or do whatever, and they have quite the big pool of band members,
Mm-hmm.
so we could definitely get them on.
They're just like, yeah, we need to fill in. Like, I'll do it. No, I got it. No, over here. No, I'll do it. Just got 10 people volunteering.
And that's what they do, and it's a super cool group. So
It's so awesome. One of the best shows I've ever been to, or one of the best sets I've ever seen, was something like that. It was a instrumental set. There was a band called Iron Sights from Omaha, and their vocalist was sick or wasn't up for it. So they had people just jump out of the crowd, guess for a song, or just like run up and grab the mic and just do whatever. That shit was dope.
see that I feel like that'd be my dream come true. You like show up to see your favorite band, and they're like, yeah, so the vocalist is sick. We're just gonna do audience members for each song.
That would be sick. I actually have this idea, and we've done it spontaneously once. And if somebody steals this idea, which I'm sure it's already happened, but if somebody steals it, I'm going to be very pissed off. It is called hardcore karaoke.
That's cool.
So how this happened, we had a show, actually the last show that was supposed to happen before the coronavirus. All the bands showed up to the venue, ended up getting canceled because on the flyer itself, it had the coronavirus like picture.
Okay, I think I remember this flyer
Okay.
circulating actually.
Yes. So the show got canceled, and I was like, well, shit, I got the night off of work. I need to find something to do. My friend, Devin from Death Wish, if you know that band.
Yeah,
We met him.
he was with us at the pizza place, I believe.
Yeah, he was. Okay. Yeah. So he was like, yeah, I'm having people over my house. And I go, okay, let's hang out. So we go over there. There's like 4 of us. And obviously I play drums. He plays drums. First thing I do is I go downstairs, start playing his drums. And he goes, no, girlfriend upstairs. No, can't do that. So I was like, well, fuck. So we started plugging in music into his PA. And then it turned into people came in and started doing covers of songs. And we ended up building like a crowd of like 25, 30 people. And it was sick.
That sounds incredible.
That's really cool.
So if you steal my idea up in South Dakota, you just have to credit me. You should be like, thanks to our Lord, Tyler, down in Council Bluffs. He gave us this idea.
You're acting like we're not going to do that every show.
Oh, you're going to do it every show? That'd be so nice.
Our Lord and Savior, Tyler Baxter, hallowed be thy name.
People would be so confused. They'd be like, who? I've never heard that name.
Oh my God.
I'm looking through the Bible. I did not see Tyler in this one. That must be a different edition.
Oh no.
Did he come before or after Matthew, Mark, Luke?
So I guess we'll dial this back. So before we started the podcast, we talked about how you guys all met. Some of you guys are from different towns. Some of you guys went to high school together. When did you guys actually develop as a band?
January 2018?
January or February.
Late January, early February. It never really had like an official start date, which was weird. We just kind of
We
like
all moved in together January 2018.
And
then,
the three of us were currently part of our old band still. So through January, that old band kind of dismembered, and we were still working on writing new music, and we had a vocalist in-house, and
I sang
it kind of
and
just
I
grew from that.
screamed. I screamed a lot.
The naming process, which I believe was in February, which we kind of call it like the official start.
Yes.
There was like an ice storm, and we were sitting in the house, sat down at a meeting to name the band. We were all coming up empty, nothing coming, and the power goes out, and we all just freeze. None of us are like getting up to fix it.
No one
We're all just
says
like
anything.
cowering on the couch, and Taylor's like, "Are we just like a bunch of adults that are all scared of the dark?" And boom, it's there.
we all just looked at each other and were like, oh shit, there
We're all
it is.
scared of the dark.
Dang. And it kind of fits with your like the type of music you guys write. Now, if you guys were called Scared of the Dark and you write rap, I'd be like, this really doesn't make sense. Unless you name it like Lil Scared of the Dark or Lil Bitch. Either one.
Oh, big.
Big
Yeah, so you guys have been together for, I guess, going on 2 years now. And I seen you guys just put out instrumentals.
Yeah.
I was so confused. I went on Spotify to look you guys up today. And the first song that comes up is an instrumental because I just press shuffle and play. And I go, where the fuck is Taylor at? I'm so confused.
We cut her out for that.
Yeah.
That one.
You're like, we're going to have you sit out for this one, Taylor. Sorry about that. So what went into that? Why the instrumentals?
It was just the year anniversary of Something to Burn, and we had them, ready to release.
Yeah.
So we wanted to just add a little bit to what our audience was getting,
Yeah.
especially because we couldn't go on tour.
Right.
We have a lot of people who comment about our orchestration and stuff that we have behind all of our tracks. And so it's cool for me to step back and then have kind of the instrumentals, the orchestration and stuff shine through.
And tell the story, really.
Yeah.
Now, who's the voice of the Top Hat Cat?
That's me.
Brendan.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's years of being a theater kid.
God, it's so crazy to listen to that because I'm like, it had to be one of the members. I don't think you guys would outsource on the album specifically for that, but it's so creative, and I like every time I hear that song, I'm like, oh, there it is. I know what it is.
That song
Did it
is
take?
what made us move from writing an EP to writing an album,
Yeah.
actually, because we
had this weird 9-song amalgamation. We're like, this is too long to be an EP. It's not really long enough to be an album. I'm like, well, we could put this little thingamabob in there, and that was the monologue 666. And I was like, and then it's technically a full album. Good enough.
Perfect. Go. It's all
Still
right.
make it work. Well, shit, like Sworn In's done that before, where they just add like little instrumental drops, which are like 1:30 as spacers, almost like palate cleansers between songs.
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
If they could do it, you could do it.
I've always loved bands that have that. I think it's a super cool moment, and we had 2 of them on Something to Burn. So
Do you know the band Loathe?
what's that?
You know the band Loathe?
I do not.
Did you say load?
Loathe, like Loathe.
I have not.
Oh, well, you guys will have to listen to them because they do the same thing. They have a lot of their instrumentals in between songs. They build the next song completely. It's not just like random bullshit. It's okay, now this next song's coming. You've got my interest peaked, and here it is. Like it just hits you. It's so good.
Yeah, you're already into the next. Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
that stuff. That's cool.
I'll send you guys a playlist of shit I listen to on the daily, and you'll be like, I've never heard of any of this shit.
Yeah, that's this guy. He's like, hey, have you listened to this band yet? And I'm like, who?
Chris, what band's under the radar right now, in your opinion?
Oh, now you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Capstan. Definitely Capstan. They recently just got signed. I think it was last year. Signed to Fearless. There's also a band called Rollo Tomasi. They're female fronted and they're like metal. They're really good actually. We were at the skate park in Brookings here just a couple weeks ago and ran into some guy tatted up. He was like 30, 40 years old and he was like, yeah, I used to be in a band when I was your age. I'm like, oh boy, okay. And he showed me Rollo Tomasi and they're really good.
Now, do you think the same thing happened? Like they were in an ice storm, the lights go out, and they're like, "Hello, Tomasi." You know?
It's a power moment, like the electricity just.
Rollo Tomasi either sounds like an Italian like dish or a spell. Rollo Tomasi.
Yeah, it sounds very Italian.
It sounds like a spell that would turn someone into an Italian dish.
Oh my god.
Rollo Tomasi, you got ravioli in front of you now. Oops.
Rollo Tomasi.
Now that's gotta be in like your next EP. This one goes out to Tyler, Rollo Tomasi, and I'll be like, I know how we got here. I totally understand.
Putting it in the which way gets spelled up.
Yes.
Dang, what were we talking about? We're talking about spaces in between songs. We're talking about load. What bands are under the radar? Any other bands that people should be hearing right now besides you guys, obviously?
Young Medicine.
Young Medicine.
Young Medicine.
They are a group from Kansas City. They're like a synth metal, synthwave, like metalcore mix, and they just got signed to Fix Neon within the last.
Is Young spelled Y-U-N-G or is it spelled the proper way?
The proper way.
Yeah, properly.
Whew. Would have been a game changer. If they spelled it the wrong way, I wouldn't listen to them.
They
their vocalist and like guitarist is the guy who actually produced Something to Burn.
Mm-hmm.
So.
and their guitarist does a large chunk of our artwork and is super. They're both incredibly talented. So
you guys gonna tour with them?
I hope so. They
That's
said
a
we
big
were
job.
supposed to. I don't know. They got signed. They're doing big important things now.
Now?
What's that?
Don't forget about the little people around here.
That's what I told them. They told us they wouldn't. So
They're good.
they are
They're
very
Those
good
guys
dudes.
so much.
Very nice.
Scared of the dark who? Now, let's walk back to your guys' first ever show together. What are your nerves like playing for the first time with each other?
They were good.
I'm trying to think of that. That was in front of. That was
Wolfskin
at Icon.
from Sioux Falls gave us. Yeah, they gave us our first show. It was
We opened.
their first tour date, and we featured Hunter on Ashes, and that whole interaction basically got us scheduled to open for their show, and that was our first show in Sioux Falls. And nerves were high.
Those were really high.
It was pretty scary, honestly.
It was a real hardcore, sweaty boy type of show.
Yeah, everyone there.
And we did not quite fit in at first.
We're a little bit lighter than, there was Souls that we were playing and Wolfskin.
And Soulkeeper.
And Soul Keepers.
Oh my god, what a fucking first show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was
we were
nuts.
shitting bricks, pretty much.
No big deal. You're playing with like those guys are pretty big. Like I'm obviously familiar with Wolfskin and obviously familiar with Soulkeeper. Holy fuck! You didn't get to play like straight up vocals?
Nope.
What did you say?
No,
You didn't get to play with like, straight up
They-
vocals like, from your city?
What's that?
You didn't get to play with like straight up vocals from your city?
There aren't really locals from our city.
From where we're from.
Not many.
There's-
Ooh.
To tell you, there was a band called Bear Fighting Bear, and they're super good, but they're just not quite serious like career musicians.
More just like jamming.
Yeah,
and
for
our
sure.
genres are very different than a lot of the music made at our in our hometown.
Yeah,
too.
no-
So it's harder to kind of like line up
Yeah.
genres that kind of flow better together.
So
Yeah.
who are you in contact with as far as booking shows, or do you guys, I guess, reach out to different bands and say, hey, get me on?
Yeah, we usually just do the DIY tour style, reach out, get a show. We do all of our own booking. We're fully independent, so all of those fronts are usually just covered by one of the band members.
That's nice. I guess it's nice in the sense that you can kind of just tag along with whoever as far as like if they want to. You don't necessarily have to play with like back in the day, like when I was growing up, Fearless had to play with a whole Fearless roster. So like one of the weirdest shows that I've ever seen was like Miss May I, The Word Alive, and Pierce the Veil. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
That's
that's
interesting.
a few different.
Yeah.
That, like, could you imagine being at the show? You're like, I really love Miss May I and all the double kicks, and then you got freaking Vic Fuente singing to you.
Yeah, that would definitely be quite the flip
I
flop
feel
there.
like that was kind of like how it was with Scared of the Dark opening.
True.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We were like Pierce the Veil opening. Some heavy band.
Okay, I drew equivalents to a different show. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
What's like the weirdest show experience you guys have had?
Oh my God, Kansas City.
There is
The Rapid City.
Milwaukee isn't a great example.
The Grand Forks hot dog place.
I still think like the Speakeasy.
Oh yeah, the Speakeasy. That was a weird one.
So on our first tour this summer,
the Speakeasy.
we were doing laundry, and I think it was a Wednesday, and the following Monday we were supposed to play in Kansas City. And I'm reading Facebook, and we were supposed to play at a house show. It was Bubba Spins. And I'm reading through, and the dude who runs the house got arrested and like was in jail. So we announced, we're like, hey guys, show's canceled. Obviously not happening.
Dude got
And we found a message sitting in our inbox like 2 days later from this guy. He had just opened the venue like a day or two before that. And it's like a rap venue in Kansas City, like small in like an office plaza.
very small,
And we were their first show. So we roll up and we're like playing in the center of the room. There's only room on like the side of us to watch us.
like the drum sets in the middle, and we're like playing around.
And a couple rap dudes opened for us. And we stayed in the venue that night.
We slept
I
there
slept on the floor.
on the floor.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yeah,
That
that was a good
Yeah, that
one.
was nuts.
That was
a lot of
wild.
fun though. Like just that like
Very
Packed
DIY,
room.
and
Yeah, it was a great turnout for what it was, but it was just
it was just
so weird. And we weren't expecting that show at all. So
And the Young Medicine Boys actually came out for that show too, and they were
yeah, they
Yeah.
helped us fill up the place. So.
it's always good to see those boys.
yes.
Do you think, did you guys get a good reception afterwards?
There
I believe
was.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the larger part of the night was this big hangout just in this office space up on like this busy Kansas City road. So us small town kids were like, oh my God, this is wild.
Yeah, girls sitting in like bean bags. And
Yeah.
everyone around us was partying.
Yeah. It was one of those like
How did we get here moments?
yeah. It was the good kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because you guys are, how many of you guys are over 21? Raise your hand. Oh, Chris is still.
I got 8 more days, Tyler. I got 8.
Eight more days.
Wait, what's the date today? Yep.
Dude, I don't even know the date anymore. Every day pretty much runs together besides Fridays, because Fridays I know for a fact I have the podcast.
Can't forget
It's
that.
Friday, my
It's
friend.
Friday.
It's Friday, we're partying it up. Yeah, that would be super strange, especially if you don't know anybody. I guess that's a part of tour. You don't really know anybody.
No, we did not.
We didn't know.
We did not.
That's part of the
We were
thrill,
strangers.
though. You like make such good friends out of strangers when you're like,
You were desperate for that like
When-
interaction with people.
yeah, when you're manifesting the moment.
I miss it. I miss seeing people, and you guys are gonna make me cry.
Oh,
Yeah, I miss it so much too. Makes so.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to walk into a venue and just hear, "Well, pack it in, motherfuckers, pack it in! Everybody at the bar, get the fuck in here!" I cannot wait to hear that. That's just gonna be, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Yeah,
Can't wait for live shows.
I feel like there's definitely going to be some very cool moments when shows are able to come back in full swing and that magic is able to
Mhm.
return. So
That's gonna be so good.
I'm not gonna hold back on like, this part is the part I should two-step. I'm not gonna question it anymore. I'm just gonna like push everybody out of the way and just start two-stepping or like throwing
Yeah.
down. I'm just gonna like, after what we've been through, granted it's not as severe as like what a lot of people have been through, but like this is a big deal to musicians to not have music and live music.
we will mosh for the opening bands.
We'll
now.
watch for the opening band.
The opening bands.
Omaha people will not do the Omaha thing. Have you guys heard the definition of Omaha?
No.
No.
Oh, wait, Chris, you got your phone on you?
Yeah.
Look up Omaha Urban Dictionary.
Oh,
And read off the definition.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
In the meantime, you guys are gonna laugh so hard when you realize what it is. I hope it's like the actual, like what I'm thinking of. If it's something completely different, they're like, yeah, it's when you make a sandwich on a. I'm like, that's not it.
Hate when that happens.
I got AT&T.
Oh,
What is it?
it's not loading. Oh,
It's not loading.
when a little-known nationally touring band headlines a show with a big local band, the local band plays first, then draws in most of the fans who then leave after the local band finishes their set, leaving the other band playing to an empty house. The word is derived from the city of Omaha. Oh man, we're playing a show at SoCal tonight with cursive opening. I hope we don't get Omaha.
Yeah, that's happened to us everywhere except Omaha.
Dude, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to Scarlett O'Hara, which Scarlett O'Hara has been around for quite a long time. But to preface it, what happened beforehand, the band that played beforehand, a guy got proposed to on stage, and then Scarlett O'Hara went on after that. So it went from like 90, 95 people, and then down to like 10. And I was like,
Oh no.
Dang. Don't wait till the very end of the night. Come on.
When I think
Make your proposal.
we always try to, talk with the promoter and try to avoid things like that, because we've had shows where that's happened on the flip side, like especially in Sioux Falls, where we're like, hey, we should play, like after these dudes, and they're like, nah, they like their spot, and we're like, all right,
Hey.
and then the Omaha happens.
the dang Omaha happened.
But that never feels good to us as an artist to see that happen to another act. So like,
Because we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there as well.
It's so rough.
So I feel like speaking with the other acts and the promoters at the night of the show, trying to communicate your concerns about that can help, I feel like.
So what's the solution? Do we just like tape the room shut? Do we like nail some wood on the door so that way they can't get out? They have to stay for the rest of the show.
We try to let the local band play after us.
Oh.
Because they're obviously bringing the people who we're trying to appeal to. They have these everyday fans that we've relied on. Hey, these local bands sound like us, but they have the same genre or whatever. So they bring in their fans, and then we do our best to try to convert those fans to our fans as well.
Come to our side.
Yes, it's not a competition either. So
Sure. No, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Smart thinking.
I saw a meme the other day that was like some guy like standing on a rock holding up one of the like 10 Commandments slabs, and it said touring band plays in the middle.
Oh, right. It was like from The Simpsons, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Touring band plays in the middle. I wonder if like touring bands could put their pride aside and let that happen, especially if it's been a band that's been touring for a long time.
And I feel like that's the big issue with doing that, is putting your pride aside. And, yeah, we don't want to go last.
Sure.
But there's definitely a plus side to, you're here to see the locals. We'll play our show for you, and then you'll get on with your night.
Yeah. Could you imagine like Moss the Flames playing before you guys?
That'd be nuts.
nuts.
That would be a strange occurrence just to see. First off, I'd be like, okay, and Scared of the Dark is playing after like Moss the Flames. I'd be like, it's written down wrong.
You're gonna be like, they steal their logo? Is
Yeah.
that their logo?
Wait, who's
Is it the
who?
same logo?
That is true. I guess I didn't even think about that. You guys did rip it off, and we all know it. So I'm gonna tell like Moss the Flames, and you know what's gonna happen? You remember what happened between Coldplay and Bring Me the Horizon?
Oh god.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm gonna have Chris from like Moss the Flames stand on your table and kick over your shit and see how you like it.
I dream of the day.
He'd be like, hey, what's up, Chris? And he's like, oh, fuck your beer. Get out of here.
Us and the Young Medicine Boys also have strangely similar logos. Theirs is a drip, whereas ours is like that drippy flame kind of something. So maybe you can.
This is the Young Medicine logo.
And
then ours is.
This is our logo.
That's not your logo. No, One thing that's overdone as far as like apparel goes or like band logos go, stop putting a coffin on stuff.
Oops.
Every-
We haven't done it yet. We
Our
haven't done
old,
it yet.
our old band did that.
Oh no, they did.
Deadfield did
Oh, we did for our merch item.
that. Yeah.
Classic.
It was a skeleton in a coffin.
Oh my god.
It makes it better.
It's so much better now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just a coffin. It's a skeleton in a coffin.
It's a metaphor for it.
It's different.
It's a metaphor.
You guys got to do like a unicorn riding a gorilla on a surfboard. That would be a great band.
That's
Fucking
pretty scared of the
magnificent.
dark.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, like you said, that definitely screams Scared of the Dark. You know, I can see the influences. The choruses are magical, but they do have breakdowns that are like a you can ride the choruses like a wave.
Oh my god.
You do call yourself a giant gorilla, right?
Yes,
Actually,
that is my official title as like a role of Scared of the Dark. I'm not the guitarist. I'm the gent gorilla.
Ooh, okay. What other nicknames are coined in this band?
I don't know that there are any.
Circle hitter.
Yeah,
Circle
he
hit.
does.
Yeah, you know.
He's gonna show up to band practice one day and he's gonna have square drums.
That's what he always threatened us with, but I haven't seen it.
And you guys can't call him square, or you guys can't call him circle hitter. You'll have to start calling him square hitter.
You're such a square.
Just shape hitter.
Shape it.
Yeah.
That'll cover all the bases.
As of right now, it's still only circles though. So.
For now, until like next year, where they're like, you know what, circle drums don't sound that good. Let's go square, guys.
That would really shake up the system.
Well,
Maybe
like, guitars without a headstock. The first person who had that, people are probably like, "That's fucking stupid." But now look at them.
Now they're everywhere.
They're riding high.
So Chris, what I'm saying is, I will invest $100,000 into your startup project for your square drums. As long as you give me 5% of your total earnings. Now this is Shark Tank, so I want you to accept the deal.
Dang.
I'm trying to think.
You got yourself a good man.
Mark Cuban, shut up. You got 5 seconds to answer. Answer, Chris. Would you like to accept the deal? There's no ums, yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Yeah. And then
There's no.
we can't shake hands right now because obviously the corona, but like in a different world, I'd be shaking your hands.
Make sure to wash your hands afterwards.
All right, and then freaking Taylor is going to be playing with like a megaphone rather than a microphone. She's going to go on the edge.
Such a vibe.
Gotta switch things up sometimes, for real.
Hey, I keep drawing this back to stuff I've seen. When the Fever 333, like Jason Butler's band, their first show, he was doing some stuff on the megaphone, so
That's cool.
possible.
Yo, Eric and Portada from Fever 333. That drummer is phenomenal.
In a thing and let it
Oh, good. And then their freaking guitarist is the old guitarist of the Chariot. He must be a fan. Which one of you guys is the super fan of the Chariot?
What did he say?
Chariot?
Yeah, the Chariot. You guys don't know that band?
No.
No.
Oh, I was saying the guitarist of the Fever 333 used to be the guitarist of the band The Chariot.
Okay.
Oh.
And then you guys all started laughing and like, ha ha ha. So I was like,
We had some dude in the background spilling some mouth garbage, and we all had to laugh at it.
Hey, it's not mouth garbage. I said you take a Bluetooth
No,
microphone, and then you take that
The megaphone?
the megaphone, and it looks like you're blowing out the megaphone, but it's just connected to the speakers, so it's gonna go out the speakers.
But the megaphone is a speaker, dude.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be as loud as the speakers.
I don't.
Then you tape the microphone to the end of the megaphone.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
we're going to start like a brand new like argument. This is going to be on Reddit in 5 minutes.
It's better now. He would be so proud of himself.
Is a speaker or is a megaphone louder than a speaker? Let's hear your arguments, guys. Now, tell me this: you guys have been quarantined You guys have been writing a lot of new music. How many songs do you think you have just stored away right now?
Like finished or started?
Okay, let's start with finished.
Not a lot, to be honest.
There's one that's pretty close, but we kind of recently went through a pretty significant reevaluation of what kind of record we're writing here.
Yes.
And I think that song is going to need to be repurposed quite a bit before it reaches its final stages.
But we have several started and several very much on the way, just not quite finished writing.
Just get them done already. Just send them.
I know. We had started on some covers, one of which we played last tour.
I
And
know.
some of those may be being recorded as well. So
Does it rhyme with Machado shows us?
it may. One of them may.
I never heard of the song Machado shows us, but I've heard of Shadow Moses.
That rings a bell.
We did know that one at one point.
Yeah, I think we may have played that one once or twice.
You know what? Sometimes I look up live videos of like bands I've seen live. There's only 1 or 2 live videos that I can find of you guys. One of them is Shadow Moses, and then I can't remember the other song. There's another video of a different song. Like, I wish we could get live sets of local bands recorded, because sometimes a guy like me just wants to hear some Earth Groans, or hear some Scared of the Dark, or hear some Been Better live.
I feel that.
I
feel that.
I feel that.
Get more live music.
We've attempted a couple times, but after you get through the whole show, it's just not quite. Sometimes we don't have the exact product we want.
Yeah, you can't hear the audio or
Yeah,
with the speakers.
or we
Camera's
fuck up
janky
super
somewhere.
bad.
Yeah.
But no, we've definitely got some stuff like that backlogged, like footage wise, and we're just trying to find the right way to release that. So that will be coming at some point.
Ooh, breaking news.
Not a whole set, but there's definitely
There's stuff.
quite a bit there.
Yes. Are you guys the type that, okay, so let's say you hear somebody says, yeah, listen to this band. Are you guys the type that looks up the stuff on Spotify, or do you look up like a live set first?
I'm
I go to Spotify.
yeah, I'm pretty
I'm
sure
a
it's
Spotify guy.
Spoofy.
Yeah,
Because I feel like there's some level of like a stigma against bands that like go hard in the studio setting to make their like recordings sound like as good as they can, and then like maybe it doesn't always translate live, but like if you can accomplish that in a studio setting, that's just as much art as performance art. So like
Sure. I agree with that, and I'm trying to think of a reference. Like, if they're able to do it once, they're able to accomplish that once, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good point.
exactly.
You try singing like Tillian from freaking Dance Gavin Dance.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when you go do screams like Alex Terrible from Slaughter to Prevail.
that guy's like insane. Like,
You got some.
so good.
Now, what I want to hear on this next record is, Taylor, I want you to really just dig deep and go like gutturals, the whole record.
We're working on it.
There are some. It is definitely going to be much heavier than
Yes.
our last release.
I think that's like chaotic, like within like the genre spectrum. Because I
Yeah.
feel like
I think we've refined the direction we want to go a little bit more.
We're bringing gutturals back for 2020.
Meta. I like what I'm hearing. But we are almost we're almost done here. It's already flown by. Can you believe it?
Feels like we just started.
I could have sworn we just started.
it's been like
Don't worry, we'll keep going after this. But being that we're at 40 minutes, do this. Plug anything that you want to plug. Obviously, we don't have any live shows booked right now. Plug what you need to plug. Say what you want to say. Go.
cool. We just launched a new website, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, we have a
absolutely.
whole new like merch website. I thought that we should say that because I just recently like actually saw it, like the finished product.
But yeah,
That's new.
it's live.com.
That's SOTDrock.com.
Indeed, yeah. And there's there's some of our tour merch that we have left over, as well as some
Some
limited
new
edition
merch.
merch that we can't quite talk about fully yet, but
Some
there's
new
there's
stuff
some new coming. So
is going on that site. So
oh man, we have. Well, we did, like you were talking about, we just put out the instrumental version of the album, and along with that, we have the normal version of the album. And if you want to learn the story and give it a listen, it'd be much worth the listener's time. So
Now, one thing, I need some of your merch, please. I'll get in contact with you guys after this. Obviously, I always like supporting, obviously, locals. I'll buy all your fucking merch. And
got some for you. So
and then check them out on Spotify. That's obviously where you can find just about everybody. Any last words for the fans?
Thank you.
Oh, man.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for listening. We can't wait to bring the next story of Something to Burn to you.
Yeah.
So
We're excited.
Boom. And that was episode 35 with fans here.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
You're the best.
We love you.